Hey everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Welcome to our show. We are coming to you live from New York City. Leo is in Idlewild, California, and our guest Lisa is coming in from New Jersey, I think, if I'm not mistaken. A little disclaimer: Rina Crugnale Burgey, my fabulous cousin, was going to join us, but she is a little under the weather.
Get it? Under the weather?
Well, Leo, what do you always call her?
She's the weather girl.
Weather girl. Because she always gives us a little weather report. Anyway, so Rena's under the weather tonight, so she's not going to join us. But she was going to help. Oh, hey, Eddie. Eddie Kutu is joining us from Rocky Hill, Connecticut, from Blade Salon. If you want to get your hair did and you're out there, go see Eddie and his fabulous crew. Richard Skipper has joined us. Hi, Richard Skipper. I was on Richard Skipper's show a few Fridays ago and had the time of my life. Hey, Dee. Danielle is joining us. She is a spiritual advisor and medium. How cool is that? We're gonna connect really soon. I'm looking forward to that. Christopher DePiero has joined us. Chris. Oh, Andy Prasky's joined us. Chris, I just heard that your guy, Aaron Judge, just hit his 62nd home run, which surpasses Roger Maris for most home runs in a single season. And that does not include the playoffs. That is a regular season. So now here's a little sports history. Now, you know I'm a Red Sox fan, but I love baseball. So I am going to shout out the Yankee batter tonight, Aaron Judge. The former person that had that record was also a Yankee. His name is Roger Maris, and he had that record for 61 home runs for 61 years. How crazy is that? And this year, Aaron Judge just he tied the record last night, and he surpassed it tonight. So 62 is the new number. And let's see how many years that stands. That's a little and I think Andy Prasky is a Yankee fan too, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really exciting and good for him. Good for him. He's a young guy. He's a nice man, and he's an amazing athlete.
You mean the Yankees who won 99 games this year, where the Dodgers won 110? Those Yankees?
Oh, wow. Did you guys really win 110?
I was just checking the MLB standings.
Dodger blue on right now. I see that.
I thought you were Maria blue.
So you're in the playoffs already. The Yankees are in the playoffs. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Mets are in the playoffs as well. And that's Anthony Borelli and Annette Zito.
That's right.
So we're in New York. I mean, I'm in New York, so a lot of our friends are a Yankee or Mets fans. I am, of course, a Red Sox fan. I was born in Boston, but they are in the basement this year. I still love them, though. I love my team no matter what. But this year, they're not going anywhere near the playoffs. So, but congratulations to the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers,
the Braves, I believe.
Braves, so far that we know. All right, Leo, easy division. Wow.
I resemble that remark.
Listen, Andy Prasky, we were talking about you, Leo, and I before the show, and I'm going to reach out to you and let's get a date because Leo's turning me on to all this amazing stuff that you're revisiting in this great film. And oh my God, I was hooked. I was hooked from the trailer. So we have to have you come on, and whoever you want to bring on as your crew. And in the next few weeks, let's talk about that and make it happen, okay?
One of the actors in this film, Louis Zorich, who trivia was married to Olympia Dukakis.
Oh my God!
I didn't even realize it that he is in my favorite Muppet movie.
Which one?
Muppets Take Manhattan.
I love that movie.
And he is also the guy that runs the diner.
Oh,
and I love it. I was like sitting there. I'm like, I know that accent. I know that it's
yeah.
frog, it's rice, it's pig, it's frog, it's everything. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's right. It's Olympia Dukakis' husband. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite actresses in the whole world. Yeah, Andy, we're going to make that happen. Charles Harold has joined us. Hi, Charles. How are you, honey? Okay, so we have a bunch of great people. Christina Zizza has joined me from my hometown. Her dad and my dad were great friends, and then we were all friends in high school. All the Zizzas, they were so much fun in high school.
Trouble, I bet.
really, oh, of course, adorable and charming and wonderful people. So, okay, I see a couple of Italians out there. I was gonna have my cousin Rina join us tonight and help me do this, help me kick it off. But she is, as I said, under the weather. But I do want to say it is just like last month was Hispanic Heritage Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
This month is Italian Heritage Month. And so I don't know if you know this about me, but I am Italian.
What?
Yeah, I know. It throws people when I say that. They're like, are you
Oh
kidding me?
my goodness! I couldn't tell from the marinara meatball or the spicy sausage.
Right, or the attitude. But yes. So I am Italian. I'm very, very incredibly proud of being Italian. My parents and all my family members, well, that generation, they came from Italy. So I'm first generation Italian and I beam with pride over it. So I just want to say happy Italian Heritage Month to my fellow Italians and anybody that loves Italian people or Italian food, Italian art, music. Italians are very, very creative artists, and go and do fun things this month because there'll be. Rina said to just check out Italian Heritage Month events in your local, put in your zip code. There's so much stuff. Hoboken. If you're in Jersey, there's Hoboken. There's so many great Italian restaurants in Jersey, but also New York. You have Little Italy. But I'm going to tell you something. Little Italy does not compare to Arthur Avenue in the Bronx.
Right.
Because I feel like Little Italy is just commercial now, but which is fine, and the restaurants are great. It's overpriced, and most of the Italians have left there. But
I'll tell you what, my recommendation, if you're going to go to New York and you want great Italian food, Olive Garden. No, you better be friends. You better be friends with Maria Gentili because that's where you're going to get the best. The best.
Thank you, honey. Yes, I do make very good Italian food, if I say so myself. But Arthur Avenue in the Bronx is amazing. You just walk up and down, and the stores are incredible. In the Village on Bleecker Street between 6th Avenue and 7th Avenue is on Bleecker Street, two of my favorite places. Fiacco's, it's Faicco. Fiacco's, they have all kinds of meats and cheeses and delicious Italian. The best Italian sub you'll ever have in your life at Fiacco's. So go and check that out. And right across the street is my favorite Italian pastries, Rocco's Pastry Shop. Also Venero's, which is in the Village. That is off the hook delicious. That's on 11th Street and 1st Avenue. So those are
around the corner from that spot is Joe's, where you sent me for pizza.
Oh, Joe's, it's delicious. I love Joe's Pizza, but I also love John's, which is on Bleecker Street. So what I would do if you're in the mood to celebrate the Italians is I would go to Fiacco's because they close around 6. Get a bunch of delicious cold cuts to take home, the most amazing cold cuts, or a sandwich, and put it in your car or in your bag, but then go to dinner at John's Pizza. It's amazing. And then go across the street to Rocco's, and that's it. There's nothing better than a cannoli. I've always said cannolis are sent from God. That's it.
We got to follow your advice, though. What you usually do is a few months of keto, and then I'm gonna.
Well, that's what. Like, I'm back on the keto now for a little while because I am officiating a wedding. Leo, I don't know if I told you this. I am officiating. Oh, yeah, I did because you gave me some advice because you are the master officiant. I am officiating my friend Jeffrey and Steven's wedding, which will be not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So I'm very excited about
married a long time.
Jeffrey Campbell and Stephen Elbel, they're getting married, and I'm officiating their wedding. Okay, so
great wedding that's going to be.
Joey Pinocchio has joined us. Hi, Joey, and Catherine Salvio. I know I'm dying for pizza all day. I've been very good. I've been back on the keto, but tonight I cooked something that it's a little slightly off keto, but it's okay. So the good thing about I go back on the keto, I lose a little weight, and then I can eat whatever I want because I'm going to eat at Jeffrey and Steven's wedding. You know that. I'm going to have to. But, okay, let me see what else we have for friends joining us. Jared Felipe. Oh, my God. Jared is blown up. You know, we're lucky that we got Jared on the show when he was just starting off with his Barbie Life in Plastic YouTube page, because it is officially blown up. So I'm lucky that Jared, you know, loves us. Kenny Holcomb, do you remember the restaurant in the West Village? I think it was called, oh my God, had the garden in the back. Yes, Torino's. Yes, and I loved it. It was across, it was like 153 West 10th Street. Kenny, that was my favorite Italian restaurant for years, and it closed. And also my other favorite Italian restaurant, Trattoria Spaghetto, which was on Bleecker and Carmine, closed during COVID. I can't believe it. So, but there's still some good Italian restaurants in the city that I highly recommend. My number one favorite is Orso, Orso, and it is on 46th Street on Restaurant Row. It's owned by the same people that own Joe Allen and Bar Centrale. It's right next door to Joe Allen, and it's spectacular Italian food. And I know how great it is. I also know the kitchen is spotless because I used to work for Joe Allen. So for many years, I worked at Bar Centrale, and we shared kitchens. And the executive chef there, Victor Flores, is my friend, and he is incredible. So if you want a really good meal before a Broadway show or after, or just you're in that neighborhood, Orso, Orso. If you're in the Village, I recommend Pesce e Pasta, Pesce, and there's an E, which means and, Pesce Pasta, Pasta. That's on Bleecker Street. You got all those amazing restaurants on Bleecker Street, although it's very super, super duper yuppified now, but it's still a great street.
Maria, we have two Danielles watching tonight. My niece Danielle, who's watching with my dad here in Idlewild.
What? Happy birthday, Danielle. It was her birthday last week.
And my dad was last week as well, the 29th.
Happy birthday, Leo. That's his name too.
Yep, right? Leo. And Danielle from Dee's Enlightened Edits, she's a big question for you right there.
Oh, okay. So let me see. What's the question, Leo? Big question, Maria. St. Joseph's pastry with custard or cannoli? Oh my God. Excellent question. I love cannolis. The cannoli is my favorite Italian. However, if it's going to be a St. Joseph's, I kind of feel like it should be custard. That's just me. Now, St. Joseph's Day is in March, I believe, and all the Italians go out and get St. Joseph's pastries. They are delicious. Rina Crugnale Burgey's dad was named Giuseppe, might say Joe's, and he would always get a bunch for us on St. Joseph's Day. Excellent question, Danielle. I can't wait to meet Danielle in person because we are going to yap and yap and yap for days on end. Karen, hi kiddos, love Orso, totally agree. It's delicious. Happy Italian Heritage Month. And Karen Mack, our friend. Now, Karen, I want you to type in because I know those girls, who is a group that she's with, who are amazing, 4 incredible voices that blend so beautifully that you're going to not know what to do with yourself. They have a show coming up. I believe it's October 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Please type in the days, Karen, that those girls are playing and where you girls are playing. Hi, Mandar. Mandar Chick Magnet has joined us.
Karen Mack song.
Mandar is very busy. He's at Bar 9 all the time, dancing the night away. He has some hot girls always around him. That's why we call him Chick Magnet. Mandar, I tried to get Mandar. Now listen, our calendar. We are getting ready. Everybody get ready. We're getting ready for our calendar for a 2023 calendar. And I tried to get Mandar to be in the calendar, but he's just stringing us along. I'll have to wait till 2024.
You're going to have to do a Mandar calendar.
Yeah, I know.
Call it Chick Magnet.
Yes, Chick Magnet. Italian month, yes. Italian Heritage Month is October.
Hey, so, Maria, have you seen Karen's cookies? It's cookie month again.
No, you don't understand. I stalk Karen Mack. Stalk her for many reasons. And her cookies bring all the girls to the yard. That's all I'm going to say.
Really? Even this girl?
Oh, you know it's October. So it's not just Italian Heritage Month, but Eugenia Mesa Dominguez, who is my girlfriend, is Miss October. Go ahead, show it. It's so good she's not on the show because she would be freaking out that we're
I
showing.
know.
Yes, that's her in front of her piano.
Now
And,
there's a cookie for you.
Yeah. So it is. There's our calendar, and our calendar now. I'm not even selling them, although I still have some for collector's items left over. But yes, it is Judy is Miss October. Hottie.
See, we kind of like to send it like that, I think.
Actually, you want to know something? For the first calendar, she was the only female in this calendar. But now for next year, we have a couple of girls.
She broke the glass ceiling of the.
She did.
Yep.
Glass ceiling of. Okay. Also, we have merchandise. I'll show that to you quickly. We have our tote bag, which Leo predicted was going to be a huge success. I said, what do we need tote bags for? He goes, the plastic, they're discontinuing it. I said, no, they're not, Leo. This was years ago. Sure enough, he was right. This is $10. I know this is super durable, washable. It's not like those bags that, that get destroyed. This you can.
You know what? I noticed something. I got a little scared after I put it in the wash. It came out a little smaller, but as soon as you start using it again,
it's stretchy. I'm going to send you another one.
Condensation from the milk and the juice.
Well, you've only had that for like 3 or 4 years.
It stretches out.
And then our cup, or what's the story with Maria cup? Here it is. Go ahead, keep eating on one side. What's the story with Maria on the other side? These are 10 as well. The postage is a little more because they're heavy. And then I have to pack it nice. All right. And our apron, okay, this is our piece de resistance. I've always said it. It's our blue apron. It's $25. It is worth every penny. It is the most popular item that we sell. And so popular that we actually 2 friends of mine, Thomas Smoker and Andrew Hankinson, who were Mr. and Mr. September, inspired that count. National Taco Day, Mandar. Oh my God.
Well, I guess I know what I'm having for dinner. National
Cinnamon Bun Day, my favorite. Cinnabuns are like, forget about it. I would give fat over and over again for Cinnabon.
Oh, and so Lydia's holiday then, National
Vodka Day. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. National Golf Lovers Day. So much to celebrate. But that's Richard Skipper. He's always celebrating things. He's amazing.
He is.
Okay, so we got a lot going on. Our calendars we're getting our calendar together now, and I'm suspecting they'll be ready like sometime in November, right?
I think we're going to have them for right around Thanksgiving if everything works out.
Okay.
So right as you're getting your stocking stuffers for your friends and family.
If you would like to order a calendar, reach out to me. Either you have my email on Facebook or at What's the Story with Maria at Gmail, and we will figure out, and you can pre-order it if you like, but we'll work that out. Don't worry about it.
Scrolling at the bottom of the screen there, you can see What's the Story with Maria at gmail.com.
Yeah, the calendar is $15 unless they've gone through the roof and unless the prices have gone way up, but I think they're about the same.
Turkeys have this year. Be careful for Thanksgiving. Turkeys apparently are more expensive.
Well, everything's more expensive. But look, and I don't want to go on too long about this because I really want to bring on Lisa, but I just, I'm all about vote. Make sure you get out and vote. We'll talk about that a little bit towards the end of the show. Register to vote. Get your kids. If they're going to be 18 by November 8th, you can register them ahead of time. Get friends. I talk about it on the mic at everywhere I work. I talk about it everywhere I teach. This is your future. Do not expect that those of us that came before you will do all the work because I only have one vote. It's for me. So I can't vote more than once. You have to vote for yourself. And it's your future. So I want to really put that out there. Voting is super important. You should care about your rights. You should care about your country. So all that's happening. And what else was I going to talk about? I think that covers everything we were going to talk about, right, Leo?
I think so.
Okay. So, and if things come up, they come up. But más importante, yes, it is más importante. So, okay. Rich Regan has joined us as well. John Pandish has joined us. Hi, John Pandish.
Hey, John.
Go Mandor. Yeah, and Mandor knows his stuff. And please, Karen Mack, please type in the dates that those girls are playing and where they are playing so people can follow that. Now, so it is Italian Heritage Month. We're kicking off, of course, with our favorite Italian singer. She's here with us. She's in the green room. Leo's going to pop her in. Her name is Lisa Viggianno. She is as lovely can be. There she is.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Yes, vote.
Vote. Absolutely. Now, how are your kids old enough to register to vote?
Really cool. The year of the 2020 election, my son, it was his first year to vote.
Wow.
And he moved to school. So he was in Wisconsin. And he and a bunch of his other friends all registered so they could help turn the state.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So he's in Wisconsin now?
Yeah.
So he's going to vote again?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
he'll vote again.
I
Hi,
love
Karen.
that. Yeah, Karen. Yay.
Oh, I brought up the calendar. They're playing on, oh God, it's not, wait, why isn't it? It has no names on the calendar right now at the Beechman Theater. Anyway.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Speaking of the Beechman Theater,
Mm.
you, my friend, are at the Laurie Beechman Theater on October 13th at 7 p.m. The Laurie Beechman is on, it's underneath the, what's the name of it? I can't remember the name.
West Bank Cafe.
Thank you. I was going to say the Westway, but the Westway is the diner. The West Bank Cafe, delicious food. And downstairs is a beautiful, absolutely exquisite space called the Laurie Beechman Theater. And Lisa Viggianno, our friend, is going to be there. And I love your post. What's that?
There's the calendar. Those girls, they were there on Sunday night for their opening, and then they're going to be there. Hold on. And then,
the 11th, I think.
The 15th. So
the 15th. Okay, good. I'm glad you checked that for me.
There they are. And I'm there on Thursday, the Thursday before that. And I have tickets to see them on November 3rd.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. At the Mac Awards, they performed, and they were wonderful. So now, Lisa, so I'm looking. I loved your poster, by the way. I don't know who made your poster, but it was wonderful.
Helene Bloomfield.
So good.
Thank you. Yeah,
really good.
I really don't. Today was a crazy day. But so.
Yeah, I bet.
Make my
I do this all day long. I play with my bangs.
The bangs,
It's the bangs, and the Italian girls, we can rock some bangs. There it is. Beautiful poster. I love it. So now I was beside myself because my favorite, here are my two favorite female singers. And they're tied. Karen Carpenter and Jane Oliver. And a lot of people don't know, a lot of maybe younger people don't know who Jane Oliver is.
Yeah.
But we know who she is. So tell me why you chose to do the Jane Oliver songbook. I'm personally thrilled, but tell me what it is about Jane Oliver that speaks to you and why you wanted to do it.
So, I've always loved her voice, obviously. If you're she's like a singer.
Yeah.
And about, I don't know, 6 years ago, I think, Mark Nadler and I got together at Sardi's, of course. Where else? And he and we talked about the idea, and it was a great idea, but I wasn't like ready. I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't totally sure that I was like up for the task because
it's you're right. It's a huge undertaking.
Every song is I sang all those songs when I was a little kid, it was like Coming from the Rain and
right.
One More Ride on the Merry-Go-Round and et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know. I just wasn't ready. And then during the pandemic, that was the playlist that, how you have 19,000 ideas in your head of all the different shows you want to do someday.
Of course. I have a book full of ideas.
Yeah.
And shows
like
I want to do.
2, 3.
No, I do. I right now, if I reached across the table, it's right there.
Yeah.
I write things on little pieces of paper all the time and forget them. I email myself now from my phone.
I do the same thing. And so then the thing I started doing was once we started with these streaming playlists, I make a playlist on my phone for whatever ideas I have.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So I would go, oh my God. So I was teaching. I know you asked me why Jane Oliver. It's a very long
That's okay. We have time.
To a short question, but
No, go.
so
I love it.
as you know, during the pandemic, everything. I mean, it was hard. I saw
Yeah.
you during the pandemic. We had a dear friend who
Passed away, and I
mutual
want to thank
passed
you for
away.
that. Our mutual friend Dave DeChico passed away. He was the most beautiful guy, and I reached out to Lisa because I knew that they were friends. Lisa and I had never met. Now, mind you, we knew of each other, but we had never met
Yeah.
or talked. And I reached out to Lisa because I knew that she knew him well, and she could give me some backstory because I knew him for 25 years, but I didn't know him as a young guy. And Lisa gave me so much beautiful stuff that I wrote a eulogy kind of, and they put it up on entertainment sites and stuff. So thank you, Lisa, because so much of what I wrote were the stories you gave me.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was a friend from growing. He was like, the neighborhood crowd. I mean,
You know.
anyhow,
Yeah, so going back to Jane Oliver.
So it was during the pandemic. I was teaching virtually online, and it was exhausting. And I call it marching. I wouldn't go walking. I'd go out and I'd walk the day off.
Yeah.
And so my Jane Oliver playlist was the one I wanted to listen to. And then I was thinking about it, and I hadn't seen Mark in years, right? So I saw him at some outdoor New Jersey festival. Karina was doing the porch performances. Karina,
yes,
Adler, and Nick Nick Adler. They were doing an outdoor performance series. So I saw Mark and he said, "When are we doing that show?" And I said, "I don't know, maybe now."
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this music, like now I want to hear this music during such a hard time. And then we talked about it and we're like, she was really popular for all the people going through, the AIDS epidemic.
Right.
So it made sense. So I talked to my friends who were, in their 20s, let's say at the time. And they said, oh yeah, I had one friend said, listening to Jane was like feeling a warm, nurturing hug when things were terrible. So I was like, that's exactly how I felt. So I said, okay, I guess it's time now I'm ready. Like life's kicking my ass enough at the moment.
Right. No, it's true. You do things as artists, we can write ideas down. I think it's important. If I were to talk to anybody that's creative, I would say just write all your ideas. Nothing is wasted. And you may not use them for years, but then there comes a time where you're bursting and that particular idea, it has to get done.
One that has to get done. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I agree with you about Jane Oliver. If people don't know who Jane Oliver is, it's Olivor. Because
and he came up with, her name was Linda Cohen.
Really?
And then it was, if you read Jim Gavin, his book, the, Intimate Nights, the cabaret book, I have it over there. I'm not going to get up and get it now because
okay, sorry. You
can
always type it in afterwards, like after you watch the show. But
he wrote a little section about her, and I talked to him. Yeah, she went from Linda Cohen to Judith Cohen to Janie Cohen to Jane, and then I did speak to someone who knew her very well and worked with her, and she got called for a gig that she thought was a little more, high profile. She was working at a temp agency, and she picked up the phone for the gig, or she, whatever. She called the guy back. He said, "What's your name?" And she said, Can you spell your name for me? And she said, Jane. She looked. There was an olive oil advertisement in the newspaper. She said, Jane Olivor, Olivor. Like she just made it up on the fly.
Isn't that something? I didn't know that story.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know. Something will just turn someone's career around or change. It's just crazy. Andy Prasky says, didn't she suffer from extreme stage fright?
Yes. So, as her career got bigger, she was like much more unsettled. And yes, somebody wrote, am I singing One More Ride on the Merry-Go-Round? And
that was Andy Prasky. Yes, she is. The most popular album is probably Chasing Rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another album right after that. and I think it's called Man-Child Lullaby.
Mm.
That I mean, I love them. I love them all. All her stuff is great, but I listen to that Man-Child Lullaby over and over and over again. And I was telling Leo earlier that as a vocalist, so like in my like late teens, early 20s, when I would warm up for maybe more like my early 20s, but when I would warm up for shows that I was in, I would put that album on and try to match her sound, because although she would be in different keys, that I'd have to be in a lower key now if I was singing her stuff. But back then I used it to stretch my range,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I love her phrasing.
Yeah. She's all about the lyric. I mean, that's the thing. That's why, we singers love her, especially cabaret singers. Right?
Oh, beautiful stuff. As a matter of fact, after the show tonight, I'm going to pop some Jane Oliver on. And talking about the stage fright, Andy, thank you for bringing that up.
Yes. So she's on the stage
I
almost
saw her.
decades.
Yeah, but I did see her, and I knew that I was very fortunate. I saw her about maybe 20 years ago in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, because I have a friend that lives out there, and he loves her too. And he's like, come on out, you can stay over, we'll go see Jane. And we did, and you could tell that she was visibly shaking, because we had like front row seats, and she was really like glued to her teleprompter. And it didn't matter. As soon as she started singing, it's like, how do you describe her sound? It's like liquid. It's like, it's not velvet. It's like syrup. It's like
that's silver. There was this like silver glue, like I'm thinking of a silver Sharpie, but that's not what I mean. Like a glittery Sharpie. Like it's not. It's thick. It's like there was
so
oh, I know. It was the stuff that you would put on t-shirts in the 80s. You know that?
Yes, I know exactly. It's kind of like in a tube, but it's glitter. Yes.
Yes, but it's not glitter because it's not funky.
What is it?
Puff paint.
Puff paint?
Yeah, they just come in little jars and they used to.
But it wasn't the hard, the dry one. It was the one that was like slick and
yeah. You just don't know what to do.
I know. Yes. So
the sound is so smooth and so warm, like you were talking about warm. It's just beautiful. I was a huge fan, and you know what's funny? Not everybody knows about her, because it was really specific, Lisa, as you brought up about that time capsule that we went through in the late 70s to the end of the 80s,
right?
Maybe even going into the early 90s.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was like
kind of made a little comeback, in the later 90s.
Yeah,
just like she kind of.
Yeah, and I bought that album too, and it was beautiful.
Yes,
that album is beautiful.
A lot of the songs from then are also in the show. I mean, it's a combination of some of the, I chose from both her early career and then that comeback, and then some set lists that are floating around.
Wow.
So it's some things she recorded early, the live recording, and then some songs that she never even recorded, but she performed. So.
And then she also did a song that was probably her biggest hit with Johnny Mathis, who was her.
The last time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was her idol, her complete idol. So, okay. So Michael Cryan is watching. Annette Zito, we were talking about you earlier, because it is Italian Heritage Month, and Annette Zito is an amazing chef. She has a Kitch Annette. So it's like kitchen with ANNETT on YouTube, and she cooks these amazing things. And we have to talk, Annette, because we have to figure out a night that you're going to either zoom in with some food or come over and cook or something. We have to feature you back on the show. Now, so your show again, Lisa, is October 13th, 7 p.m., the Laurie Beachman Theater.
And then I have a date for November. I wasn't sure. I haven't done this in so long, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do. I knew I wanted to do it, but
yeah,
or if I was gonna get. So I'm gonna get another one on November 11th, because I didn't realize how popular Jane Oliver
Yes, and
supposed to be.
especially in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, she was a singer. And if you are a singer, especially a cabaret singer, you love her because
Mm-hmm.
it's all about the lyrics, although her voice is exquisite, but it's all about the lyrics. And um, actually, Neil Sedaka wrote The Big Parade. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
that's in there.
Which I love it.
That's one of my favorites.
Oh, such a good song. And he talked about that because I actually know Neil very well. He's become a friend of mine. And he talked about that song and he talked about meeting her. And it was just really an interesting conversation,
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, she does. When you find the music to The Big Parade, it's nothing like she completely.
Like she does it right.
She just does it how she would do it, how she felt like doing it. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, that's great. And Mark Nadler's wonderful. So that is going to be really cool.
Yeah, he's
really cool. Now, you mentioned Porch. You also did the Porch Fest in Newark recently, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what was that like?
It was really fun. Last year was their first year. I did it with my friend Monroe from Jersey. We grew up together. I was from Bayonne. He was from Jersey City. We grew up together. We do a jazz guitar vocal duo. And so we did it last year. And then this year I went with Tracy Stark and Matt. Yeah. And Matt Charfglass. And we did our Lady Day to the Boss set, like, from Billie Holiday, all the way to Bruce Springsteen, which was a show I had done right before the pandemic.
Wow.
So that was really fun. And they had, in that neighborhood, the Forest Hill neighborhood.
Yeah, it's really changed.
Neighborhood. It's all these restored mansions, Victorian homes. Some are mid-century modern. I mean, they're all just very specific homes, and they're all restored original.
Beautiful.
They had different acts. They had everything. They had like a salsa band, and they had a rock and roll band. And they staggered us, so we weren't. I wasn't placed next to the rock and roll band.
Yeah, but you know what? They know what they're doing. And if so, it was that like a 1-day event, or was it a weekend event? It was a 1-day.
1 day, and Asbury Park did one this year. It's becoming like a thing.
Yeah,
Park did one.
Newark. I love it.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. But I just noticed that I looked on your page and I was like, oh, I didn't see this, so I wanted to talk about that and see how that felt. And so, how's it been for you as a singer to get back out and just reconnect with audiences live? And I mean, people are so excited to be out there now, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, everyone, both us as performers and the people who come, and it's so it just feels super, before I don't feel so as nervous.
Yeah.
Grateful to be there. I don't, if I mess up, I don't mean I don't care, but I don't, I want to do a good job for the people, right? And they come out to see you, you want to give them something great. But if I mess up, I'm like, yeah, I'm human. We're all human. We're alive. We're here. Amen.
Right. Well, that's it. I think there's a sense of gratitude for being on the planet.
Absolutely. 100%. So like this Saturday, my friend Monroe and I are going to there's an arts festival in my hometown. Well, not my hometown's Bayonne. I can't say that's not my home. Bayonne is my hometown. But where I live now in Glen Rock, there's an outdoor festival, and they have like 6 acts. And
well, when is that? This weekend?
Mm-hmm. Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm like you. I mean, I've been singing, since I was kind of born. And before I became a speech therapist, I sang. That was my full-time gig. And so, we're just, this is the other thing. Like when I was just doing, I don't know, before the pandemic, my more recent gigs, I was much more like, everything has to be perfect. And now
I agree 100%.
Now I'm thrilled to, again, have I practiced? Of course. I'm looking at the music. It's been, Monroe and I've been playing together since he was 7 and I was 10.
Wow.
So like we have sets and sets of music.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about it. It's kind of that piece that it's so fun.
That nice
Oliver piece.
I also think that comes with age. I think that we get to a point in our lives where we do what we love and we're doing it, and we're just happy with who we are. I don't know if that's also after COVID. It's just we have such gratitude, but I just feel like the older I get, the more okay with myself I am.
Yes, for sure.
And when we're okay with ourselves, the audience is okay with us.
Right. And then they're okay with themselves.
Yeah, it's just like
if we're human, then they can be human. Thank you for putting that up. I'm like, oh, if only I put a little more makeup on for you tonight, so I quickly.
Oh, stop it. So Lisa Viggianno, if for our radio listeners, it's Lisa VIGGIANO.com. So go and check out her website. And as we've been talking about, she does all kinds of shows, but the one coming up at the Laurie Beachman is a Jane Oliver songbook show, which if you like, she said it's a singer show. So, and if you're a lover of lyrics, you're going to love this show.
Right before our eyes.
Oh gosh.
She only wants the best for us. Look how hard she tries. So when you see her crying, it's because we've broken free. And she's given up a heart of her. Letting go of you and me.
Gorgeous.
Wow, thanks.
Oh my God,
that's the only song that I performed that I wrote.
You wrote that?
Well, I wrote most of it, and then I needed a bridge, so David Friedman wrote the bridge for me.
So pretty. Wow.
Yeah,
really beautiful. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Leo, did you know that when you chose that song to showcase? You know, Leo's you knew that?
I knew that she had written it because I was looking for them because I didn't want us to get marked with anybody else's music, so I know that.
Oh, there you go.
And also, it's a good way to promote a great talent as well.
And Michael Dion has joined us. He is in Florida. Michael says, beautiful voice. And shout out to Michael Dion. We worked together at the Duplex for years, and then we worked together downtown in Jersey City. And then he moved out to Florida with his sisters. And Michael, they got hit so hard in his neighborhood. And he and his sisters have been cleaning up for days and days and days, all the broken trees and everything. And Michael, my shout out to you and your sisters. And they have such a great attitude about it. So we send you some love. And Michael said, beautiful voice. And Michael knows he's a singer. So he knows singers. So anyway, a little love to you, Michael Dion.
Yes.
Now we've come to the part of our show. We do our food section, Lisa.
Oh, good. But just one more thing. Vote.
Oh, my, of course. Actually, we'll close the show with all our voting stuff. But so I'm going to talk about it. Yes, I always cook on the show because it keeps me creative as I interview my creative guests. And tonight I made, I didn't want to just go with typical Italian. I wanted to go with, so I had eggplant, which to me, eggplant is one of the greatest things. And it's so cost effective, especially now some food prices are up, but you can get like, this is one eggplant, which I think cost me like $3, right? And all I did was, so here's some fried eggplant. I know. And I'm on the keto, but I'm going to eat this tonight. Just a little, not the whole thing, just a little bit. I was going to do a Parmesan, and then I'm like, no, you know what? It's so good.
When you just get it.
Yes. So this is just some breadcrumbs. I use the 4 C's, or you can use Progressive breadcrumbs, so you can make your own. But it's just, you dip it in flour, dip it in egg, dip it in breadcrumbs, and just, I put garlic in the olive oil and a little salt and pepper, and you are done. That's all this needs. It's delicious. If you want to put a little sauce on that, you can, but I just put a little lemon and eat it like that. So that's what I'm going to do. You can also use these when you cut it round instead of long. You can stack them up. When you do make a Parmesan, you can just make like a little tower with some Parmesan cheese in between, which I often do too. So that's what I made tonight for Italian Heritage Month. And what did I make for a salad? I have red leaf lettuce, red onions, San Marzano tomatoes, the baby ones, which are my very favorite of all time. You know where you can get amazing these San Marzanos, believe it or not, Trader Joe's. Oh, you know, Lisa. So you know, I eat them like snacks.
Yeah, they're like candy.
They're candy. They're like unbelievable.
Have them on keto.
Yeah, you can have them. And then there's some olives, black olives, and I'll put a Sicilian lemon olive oil on this and a fig infused vinegar. And that's it. Maybe a little oregano. Maybe. There's your salad. And then because I'm trying to be good. Normally I would go for the cannoli or the something Italian, but I'm going to be good. Italians love cantaloupe. When we were kids, I don't know about you, Lisa, but we didn't have dessert. We had dessert was like a special thing you did like on a Sunday.
Oh,
you went for coffee after church.
Right.
But at dinner, you just had your dinner and then you had fruit for dessert. You didn't have American kids had dessert. That's what it was. It was like we didn't have that stuff. So Lisa, growing up, what was some of your favorite Italian stuff that you either ate or made?
Well, first of all, when you showed me the eggplant, I remember I must have driven my mother nuts, like she'd be frying them and I'd be eating them. And then when I was older and I started making it myself, I was like, my back was killing me standing there. Cause if you're going to make a big, eggplant rollantine or eggplant parmesan, and you need a lot of them. You're for a long time frying.
A long time.
And there I was like, oh my God, my poor mother.
But you must have loved it. Another thing about eggplant, if you do decide to cook it, what I do, my mother used to do it. I don't know if your mother did it, but she would put like paper towels, then put a couple, because they do hold a lot of oil.
Yeah, and put the salt so it wouldn't get bitter. Yeah.
Although now the eggplants that they're growing, I think they've tackled that.
Yeah.
That bitterness issue.
Yeah.
But you just put another paper towel, stack them, paper towel. That's my mother used to do that. Put it the heavy plates, then you flip it.
And then flip it over. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So really, I mean, it's a memory that you have from childhood.
I can smell it. Looking at it, I can smell it from here.
Absolutely. So did you cook with your mother at all?
A little bit. She was very she's still with us, but she, as a kid, she's a little OCD about the kitchen being clean.
That's how my girlfriend is. I can't cook at her house. She won't let me.
Yeah. She could pretty much only do it herself.
Yeah, but that's how Judy is.
I mean, we probably, cook the same things. I mean, one of my favorite things still, just so easy. And so and it lasts me, I can take it to, work for lunch or whatever, but like pasta. I know you people out there, it says fagioli. We don't say this. We pasta vazul. Pasta vazul,
yeah. So pasta, if you're in a restaurant, you'll ask for pasta fagioli.
Right. But I don't want it there because I don't like how they make it.
Right. You want to make it yourself. Yeah. Pasta fasul. Fasul is like a slang way of saying beans. And it's so truly Italian, like Southern Italian.
Yeah.
So pasta, but it's what it is beans and pasta, and it's like a soup, but it's like a thick soup.
Yeah,
and you have it with some really nice Italian bread that you put in the oven, and you slice it, and it's like the best thing at wintertime, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll eat it in the heat of summer.
Oh,
look at this.
What do you got there, Leo?
He's got the little
Achin de Pepe number 78, the small ones.
Oh my God, Achin de Pepe number 78. I like the way you said that, Leo. Your diction is wonderful.
Thank you. I've been hanging out with some Italians,
Oh, yeah. I know all about that. Leo, should we check in with some of our people? Gail Harvey Stanizzi has joined us. Is she a friend of yours? Maybe not. Maybe she just joined our show. We had Michael Dion. We checked. Charles Harold has joined us. Okay, so we know all about the people that have been watching the show. I don't want to miss anybody because I'm so happy when people check in. Kenny Holcomb has joined us from Tennessee. Kenny's had many, many Italian meals with me. And so you do agree with me, Lisa, about the dessert that we didn't really.
Yeah, my mother, she would have things around sometimes, but we didn't have like sit down formal dessert.
No.
You know, like there might be like, she might have like pudding or jello, like, you know, in the fridge that she made that we could go in and grab if we wanted, but it was never like a sit down, and we always had fruit. My grandfather used to put salt on watermelon.
I know a lot of people that do that.
Your family too, Leo?
Yeah, I actually like
salt and
I've
water
never-
and
you
chili
know-
and lime.
I have to tell you, you know Chris Marlowe.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was out. I've been to see him in Palm Springs a handful of times, and he always makes me the watermelon feta cheese salad.
I love that salad with the arugula.
Yeah, and it's
Oh my
fantastic. And every time he makes it, because I never make it, because I don't know why, I just don't. And every time he makes it for me, I'm like, oh yeah. And I remember, oh, my grandfather used to put salt. Yes, it tastes delicious. It makes sense. You know
what else I loved it too. I love it too, and I love that salad, that particular salad. Actually, I made it one night for the show.
Did you? Nigella Lawson was the one, like back in like the 90s, the mid 90s. She made it popular, kind of thing.
Yeah. But I love fruit in salads, believe it or not. Like I put apples in salads all the time, and blue cheese crumble, or peaches, and like honey chèvre with the peaches, and I love all that stuff.
I do too. I like to mix. Some people like their savory with their savory and their
Oh no, throw it all together for me. I love it. Karen Mack, you are so nice to put down when those girls are playing. So 10:15, 10:29, and 11:03 at the Beachman at 7. Elliot and me at Pangea 10:20 at 8:30.
Also, have you seen them down there? They're fantastic.
Oh, they're amazing. I mean, I love Elliot. I work with him at Brandy's.
Oh, right.
I work at Brandy's Fridays and Saturdays, and Elliot and I work together quite often.
Leo, when will you be in New York?
I'm trying to think of fall or winter. The thing is, after living there, I know that it would be great to go around the Christmas time and everything. But January and February, everything's cheaper. No one's around.
January, February.
My friends are there. That's what I need.
Leo, let me know if you come. We'll have a party. We'll have some kind of a big cooking party.
Well, I'm hoping that there's a musicians party coming soon.
Well, there will be when you come. I used to have these big musician parties. I did it for years, and then COVID happened, and then of course,
a long time, right?
But now, a bunch of our friends would show up, and everybody would just sing and bring food, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
What were we going to say, Leo?
I was going to say that Sean Chinsoon, Andy Prasky's husband, is saying hello to you. He loves the show.
Oh, we love him. Yes, and I think I sent them aprons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, years ago, because I was trying to get Andy to be in our calendar, but he plays hard to get. Maybe next year, Andy. Maybe finally, because Lisa, we have this calendar. It's called the Nothing But the Apron calendar, and the people in the calendar are wearing nothing
but the apron.
Nothing but the apron. Here is my cousin's husband. There he is with making breakfast for his beautiful wife and just the apron.
I love it.
So every month is a calendar boy. And last year, the only calendar girl that we had was my girlfriend Judy, and she is Miss October. She will kill me, and but I think she's on here. But there she is, our calendar girl. Well, Judy.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
She can do it.
That's right. She did it. This year, though, we have 3 girls that are in the calendar.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it's boys and girls this year. Because the first year, none of the girls, came forward.
Well, us boys.
I know. The boys are always, we can't wait to get
the apron.
So we have a few minutes left. Lisa, let's talk about voting. Because we're trying to inspire people. How did you inspire your son and his friends to vote? How did you do that?
I mean, I don't know. We just, example, I guess. We don't, we know that we can't, your sons and your daughters are beyond your control. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one. You know, I can't tell him what to do because the times are a changing, right? Like
Yep.
that's
Yep.
however, you know, he's taken it in, thank goodness. You know, he
Yeah,
has
that's
taken it in.
amazing.
So, you know, and also, you know, they see. I mean, things are so
Yeah,
intense
but
the
I'm
past few years. They see it. My
I know.
son's birthday is on January 6th.
Oh, no.
Wow. My niece is January 6th as well. And I just felt like when that happened, I thought, oh, this poor kid, like now her birthday's that crazy.
Infant.
But I cannot tell you how many young people I speak to that have no idea what midterms are.
Mm,
Because I teach too. I mean, they don't even know what that is.
yeah.
And
I mean, when I didn't really either. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I couldn't wait to vote. Leo and I talk about this all the time. We voted when we were 18. Why were we so? My parents were super political.
Well, that's the thing. We kind of are political.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, I don't even remember that. I remember it being midterms or every 2 years. I just remember that. Oh, it's voting. Okay, I got to know why, and I got to vote.
Yeah,
Right.
and even every year it's something.
Yeah, it was just that I have the right to vote, and now it's time to vote. And whether it was 2 years or 4 years, I was there to vote.
Yeah.
And I had to vote.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just everybody out there, we've been putting this up there. If you have, if you yourself are not registered for whatever reason, and that's fine, there's no shame in it. Just go out and get registered.
Yeah.
It's vote.org. That is the website that will take you to any state. You just type the state in, you scroll down, you find your state. It gives you everything you need to know about the state that you live in. You put your zip code in, it tells you, once you register, it'll tell you where your voting place is. And if you are already registered or you've moved and you have to whatever it is, go to vote.org. It will fill you in. Right, Leo?
Yeah, it's got everything there. I'm trying to find it right now.
That's okay, honey. He's scrolling. And then also, fairfight.com is Stacey Abrams' site. And she also helps you. So vote.org, 34 days left, 5 hours, 59 minutes. Look at that. And it tells you, if you put your state in, everything you need to know to vote. I mean, it's amazing.
You can register to vote. You can vote via mail. You can get your election reminders set up if you forget things. Pledge to register. Like, yeah, if you're not 18 right now, but you're going to turn 18 right before you vote, register now because on the day you can still vote.
And look at this. Locate your polling place. Locate your drop box. Could this be any more thorough? It's amazing.
I mean, it doesn't even go state to state, guys.
State to state. Can't go wrong. You know what else my friend Joe Cangelosi did? He went to his state, of course, and he printed out a bunch of registration forms and just was on the street with another friend of his and got 36 people in 1 hour registration.
Yeah, and they're with the school where I work. They're really encouraging the kids. You know, I'm in a high school, so the kid, you know, there are a lot of kids who are 18 and 19. You know,
wow.
So
that gives me hope.
Hey, boys, especially you got to know if you have to be registered to vote. You have to register for the draft, and that was one of the things back then that we were worried about, which is why people didn't want to because they didn't want to register to be drafted. But to realize that it all comes forward. You have a voice in that process. You have to vote. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. We have 1 minute left, Lisa. I would like you to have the last word. Leave us with some kind of hope for creative stuff. As a creative person, how do you stay hopeful? How do you stay creative? What do you want to leave our audience with?
Well, I have to say that I think that the thing that helps me get back in the zone, you know, because we can all spin out in a crazy world. The thing that gets me back is really meditation. And specifically, like if you could get like a guided meditation on loving kindness, like so simple, kind of get just right there because it gets you out of your own head and like sending love, kindness, metta to, you know, to everyone, you know.
Beautiful.
So that little quickie. So Thank
You're
you so
absolutely
much.
great. Oh my God, I'm so happy to have you here. I don't want to miss Keith Torgan, our friend, has joined us. He's a beautiful songwriter and artist, and he's joined us. And Lisa, I am so glad that you were on tonight. I'm so excited for you and your show. Lisa is a beautiful person. She has a beautiful voice. She is doing a great show coming up, but just follow her anyway, because she's always going to be doing something. You're lovely, honey. I'm so happy you could come on.
Well, you're lovely. And now I have a plan for the 11th. When I do my show on the 11th, it's a Friday. I'm coming up to Brandy's after.
Come up.
Fun. I
And
didn't realize we were both Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
Oh my God, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
After the show.
All right, honey. All right. So glad to see you. Leo, I can't thank you enough.
Mwah.
Leo,
Ken,
so nice to meet you.
oh, look, Ken Patton has joined us. Ken is Ken from Ken's Perfect Jams, our favorite jam maker. Go to his website and order some jams. You shan't be disappointed.
Oh my God, you will not.
Oh, we love them. Okay, we love and appreciate you. Come back every Tuesday and watch our show. If you miss it, you can catch it in podcast, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or you can go to our YouTube channel and watch all our episodes. This is episode 267. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night. We love you.
Mwah.